This is Stevie, Haven, and Chansey, and they're listening to my speech today about the negative effects of gambling. As a former blackjack dealer, I have seen the effects that gambling can have on people. Sure, you go to the casino with your friends to have a good time. There's a good band, there's alcohol, there's bells ringing, and you think, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. The atmosphere is amazing. And you've probably put $20 in a machine and maybe made $40. But at some point, that good time can become a nightmare with the blink of an eye. You might be gambling for recreation, but it can change to an addictive behavior without you becoming aware. There are, according to Elizabeth Hartney on the web, in an article updated on July 30th, 2010, about.com, there are three types of gamblers. There's the professional gambler. That is the rarest form, and they rely on skill rather than luck. They have full control over their money, the time, and the energy they spend on gambling. The second type of gambler is a social gambler. This person is also in full control of the money and time they spend gambling. They realize the money they spend is part of the cost of their entertainment. The third type is the problem gambler. Their continued involvement in gambling activities becomes negative effect on their spending, on the time spent gambling. It becomes an obsession. It controls them. Gambling addiction is a lot like any other addiction, whether it be alcohol, drugs. The longer you do it, the more you need to fulfill the need that you have. Whether it's alcohol, drugs, gambling, the little bit you were using before doesn't give you the same effects. So with gambling, you start spending more money. You place bigger bets. It's very detrimental to your family life. It's detrimental to your finances. Addicted gamblers spend their life savings on gambling. Compulsive gamblers, according to this website article by Amanda Dolazinski, compulsive gamblers are 5 times more likely than social gamblers to devote at least 1/4 of their leisure time to gambling. They also spend unlimited amounts of funds. They turn to stealing. There are 10 characteristics that you want to be aware of. And if you fall into these categories, you want to become aware that your gambling is becoming a problem. Have you gambled longer than you actually planned to gamble? Have you gambled until your last dollar is gone? Have you had thoughts of gambling that have caused you to lose sleep? Have you used your income or savings to gamble and let your bills go unpaid? Have you made repeated unsuccessful attempts to stop gambling? Have you broken the law or considered breaking the law to finance your gambling? Have you borrowed money to finance your gambling? Have you been remorseful after you've left the casino and gambled? And have you gambled to try to get money to meet your financial obligations? Some compulsive gamblers, according to compulsive gambling website and on the USDA website, gamblers fall in love with the action of gambling, and they can be quite successful at first. They think they're smarter than the average person, and they think they know how to beat the system. First, they suffer monetary loss. Second, they suffer a deflated ego, and in order to recoup their losses, they gamble more. Their long-term preoccupation of chasing the losses is a defining characteristic of the pathological gambler. Many gamblers sneak around. They cash in their life savings. They hide loans from their family members. Falling in love with the action and chasing losses is the starting point for most men. and is a reason for men becoming addicted to gambling. Women, on the other hand, use gambling as an escape initially to get away from a bad marriage, to if they're depressed, if they're lonely, they'll go to the casino for the excitement and just to get away from reality. But men and women both eventually follow the same path, which can lead to criminal activity to continue financing their gambling. Now that we've looked at the characteristics and possibly signs of addictive or pathological gambling, let's talk about college students. College students who live close to casinos are more likely to gamble. About 6% of college students in the U.S. have serious gambling problems. About 75% of college students have gambled in the last year, and this is according to an article updated on triblive.com, written by Amanda Dolazinski. It was updated on December 10th of 2012. 75% of college students have gambled in the last year, and 18 admitted that they gambled at least weekly. They like the freedom of being away from home. They want to fit in with their peers. And credit cards are very easy to get for college students. Credit card companies tend to prey on college students to give them credit. There's a lot of money for them to be made. These kids can rack up these credit cards without ever realizing how detrimental it can be to their financial health. Of these college students that gambled, 41% played the lottery, 38% played card games, and 23% of them bet on sports. The temptation is heightened in areas where casinos are readily available. Okay, so now let me recap what we've spoken about. First, you need to be aware that frequenting the area casinos can be harmful to you. Second, we know that gambling can be recreational for many, but it can become an addiction. Third, we covered the signs and symptoms of addictive behavior. And fourth, the statistics show that it can be a real problem. Fifth, the fact that many college students have gambling problems should finalize the fact that there are many other ways to spend your recreational time than frequenting the area casinos.